So we have understood in the journey that we are not the three bodies, and we are not the five sheets. We also have a clarity that what to do during the day when mind with its old habits return to the symptoms. Symptoms of greed, symptoms of pain and sorrow, symptoms of reaction. What should we do during our daily life, during living from moment to moment? So that will help us to keep the mind in that state of knowledge. How long we have to do the journey? Until this mind becomes incapable, helpless, to incite you, to superimpose any delusion. So you have a self-check. Normally people say, I've been doing with you, nothing happens. You are responsible. It's a common sense approach. Where I come in between? I don't come in between. No, I'm coming, I'm talking to you. So those who are 100% non-seeker will drop, do not attend, even if the teacher claims it is not his knowledge. It all belongs to the tradition. And then they have a lot of blame, complaint. So understand it clearly. I have to listen. I have to do the practice until this mind becomes totally incapable. What I said, mind becomes totally incapable of superimposing any pain and the pleasure, duality and a conflict in my day-to-day life. So now question comes, sometimes people have a very wrong notion, wrong notion and wrong thinking. Or you can say, I do not think about it and I have a wrong thinking. So that is the category of a non-seeker. So what should I do? I blame myself that I am a non-seeker. Keep listening, keep understanding, keep doing the practice. So once we are doing the practice, we experience there is a sense of calmness, then we are ready. Non-seeker gets easily excited. I have already told you last time the 5 sheets. And if you go through this and start thinking, oh, I'm upset. Upset is a cause of delusion. Am I worthy of suffering? We have covered those topics in detail. So remember that I have to act in my daily life. I have to act with the honey, I have to act with people outside, I have to act in professions. So I have to see whether that level of calmness is permeating in my mind, in my thought, in my speech and action. It's a common sense approach. Yesterday, one guy asked me that, can you get rid of anger completely? No. So if no, then why should I? No, just example. So then why should I do the practice if I cannot get rid of the anger completely? Or excitement? Or hesitation? So I said there are two types of anger. The seeker's anger is like drawing a line on the water. Non-seeker anger is drawing a line on the stone. It doesn't go easily for a non-seeker. He constantly is excited, remains agitated for about a week, and then he forgets, he gets into the same problem. But a seeker's anger is you draw a line. Can you draw a line on the water? It comes and it goes. You instantly become aware. That is our instinctual response. So we have done, we are not the three bodies, we are not the five sheath. What is next? We have to talk about and understand the three mental states. We are aware of waking state. We become little bit aware of the dream and the sleep state, in the waking state that I had a sleep. So we have to understand it step by step. Are we three in one, or one only behind the waker, sleeper, and the dreamer? Did you ever ask this question to yourself? I sleep, I dream, I wake up, and then we never ask this question that what about three mental states? There are three mental states. So because I am not the mind, hence I am none of these three mental states. So if I am not none of these three mental states, then who am I? That is the last in the category, what we are not. We are not the three bodies, we are not the five sheath, and now we are none of these three mental states. We get stress in the waking state, but if I am not a waker, then what the stress has to do with me? In sleep state, I am totally unconscious. When I wake up, I become conscious. Am I a sleeper? No, I am a conscious being. So we have to understand how to separate these three states, and then what will be left is the real self. Only the real self. Have you ever asked a question to yourself that we have been living in a waker, as a dreamer, as a sleeper? We never think about it. We never think about it. So the master says that we need to think about it. We should not remain unconscious about these three states in order to find out who we are. Now see the beauty. The waker, sleeper, and the dreamer all are changing mental states. When we are a waker, we do not know the dreamer and the sleeper. When we are a sleeper, we do not know the waker and the dreamer. Look at this. And when we are a dreamer, we are neither waker nor sleeper, and still I am. does it give us a clue that I am is different from the three states? It permeates, it is present in all the three states. That I am is present in the waker, I am is present in the sleeper, I am present in the dreamer. Just see the thing, that we cannot say my life is only a waking state. We cannot say my life is only a sleep state. We cannot say my life is only a dream state. All the three, but I'm none of them. Are you getting it? Say yes. Even if you don't. That is the journey. If I don't get it, why I don't get it? Start thinking it is because of the being a non-seeker. But what prevents me to become a seeker? The impurities in the mind and the distractions, the wandering mind. What are those impurities? Those likes and dislikes that causes the attachment and detachment, that causes desire, and that puts me into the cycle of karma, and that prevents me to receive that knowledge. Even if I receive the knowledge, I do not retain the knowledge. Don't answer me, but because you'll be exposed, so I don't want to expose you. You have attended the session, right? And just after attending the session, you are upset. You are not able to retain the knowledge. I give you one example. Do you see that? Don't tell me yes or no. Remain intelligent. Hide yourself. So, do you see that? This is what happens. So I am not able to retain that knowledge, because if I am not able to retain the knowledge, so I am not able to reflect. So when I am not able to reflect, those impurities remain. And if those impurities remain, I've been attending your session. Don't attend my session. Attend your session. It's your session. So, I've been attending your session. No, you're not attending my session. You are attending your session. So, come back. Return to how can we relate three state which appears independent. Now think. Now thinking means it gives me the knowledge. It is one life as an individual. It is one unit of life in which these three states have been alternating for the last so many years. Like a wheel, it means somewhere there is a real self. And that real self is different from the three states. I want to lay again a strong foundation, because to know we are not the three bodies and we are not the five sheet has a different approach than we are none of these three states, have a totally different approach of understanding according to the teaching. This is little subtler, very subtle. Anastasia, you asked a question. I gave you the answer. That self-inquiry is done by the intellect. Intellect means knowledge. The knowledge is not retained there, not reflected. Why it is not retained there and reflected? Because I am living a habitual life. After the session is over, even I send you the audio files, pleading that, please, and I have a lot of things to do, I'm fully busy. Look at it. It is only because of the likes and dislikes. Pleasure-seeking mind. Possession-seeker mind. That is why we slip back. Knowledge simply means understanding and clarity. Clarity means classified. I told you before also. Do you still remember? Knowledge, clarity. Knowledge, understanding means clarity. Clarity means classifying. Simple example, I am different from you. I am different from Brandy. I classified, I filter in order to point to that here I am and here is a Brandy, here is anesthesia. Here is my neighbor's house. Here is my 3 bodies. Here is my 5 sheet. And here are my 3 states of the mind. Mind, power of intellect is discernment, and Buddha says the right knowledge is the first of the 8-fold noble path. Patanjali says Vivek Khyati. Vivek Khyati means to settle or establish. You establish discernment in the intellect and you are already there. You are living from moment to moment in that state of mindfulness. There is another way to say it, that I should have a mental maturity and the intellectual maturity. So that maturity means that I am a seeker. So now with that understanding, again ask the question, I am 1 or 3 in 1. You know, our smartwatch is many in 1. So are we 3 in 1 or we are only 1? These 3 appears on the real self. If I am 3 in 1, then I am always disintegrated. I am always fragmented. Then at one time, I claim that I am a seeker, I am a waker. Second time, I claim that I am a dreamer. Third time, I claim that I am a sleeper. And they will remain disconnected from one another. Still, there is some feeling, some awareness that I am one. Do you agree? Do you feel that there is something deeper inside which says I am one? What is that? I'm conscious of that entity, and that entity is the real self. But at present, we are working on the 3 states. In deep sleep, I am not the body and the mind. Because if I'm body and the mind, then I will know I'm sleeping. Can you ever become conscious of sleep? No. We can never become conscious of the sleep. Because if I become conscious of the sleep, then it is not sleep. So what happened in the sleep state of consciousness? Nothing but, that consciousness is hiding, not expressing itself through the body, means the 5 senses and the mind. In dream state, the consciousness is expressing itself through the mind, not through the body. We enter into a fancy imagination world where the body through its 5 sense organs do not see the fact. And in the waking state, both mind and the body are fully active. Hence, so what is the one understanding that we have? In a waking state, it is because of the body and the mind which are fully active In dream state, it is because the mind is active, body is not. In the sleep state, none of them is active. That is why I don't recognize I'm sleeping. That is why I don't see the factual world outside in dream. And that is why with the body and the mind, I see the material world of phenomena. It proves that I am not a sleeper, I am not a waker, I am not a dreamer. I told you that I always asked crazy questions to my master, and in a traditional format, traditional wisdom, you go to the master late in the evening. Master is lying down for a couple of years, not bragging, but in order to ask a couple of questions. And I had a curiosity whether he was sitting. I saw him sitting. How dare you say that enlightened ever? You become so much habitual and heavily conditioned. I tried at least 25 times. Every time he was snoring, and I said, "Now this guy is sleeping," and every time he woke up. He said, "How dare you say?" The last time he said, "Enough is enough." Working on this sleep. Let me see, let me work on it. You'll be surprised that with the smartwatch, when I'm focused in meditation, the smartwatch says 2 hours in meditation, so it adds 2 more hours. This watch does not know whether I'm sleeping or meditating. I have tried hundreds of times. Then I told my son, and he also tried. He said, "Yes, you are right." It's totally a different science. You should appreciate it. You should appreciate it. So you see that's another level of your awareness by which you can prove that you are not a sleeper, you are not a waker, and you are not a dreamer. So another question comes, is there anything behind the 3 states that connects all the 3 mental states? It is the real self. Do you have a car? Yes. Do you have a house? Yes. Right? Do you have a phone? Yes. Do you have clothes? Yes. So who connects all of them? You. Are you getting it? Yes. Who connects you all of them? It's you. At the individual level. That's why you say it's my house, my phone, my fiancé. Your fiancé did not turn up today. Busy anesthesia. So you see that who connects? Similarly, that real self, that consciousness connects to all of the 3 states, and that consciousness that is how understanding about the 3 states. You see the confusion. We should understand completely about the confusion also, so that we can remove the confusion. It's a so simple way. It's a common sense approach. My house number is 7304. If I see 7305, it is not my house. It is a default understanding that I am a man as compared to others. It's a default. I need not to think. But when I start the journey, I have to think, contemplate, reflect. And what prevents me not to contemplate and reflect? I told you, I become a non-seeker. when I have those impurities of the mind. The likes and dislikes causes the attachment and detachment, ultimately causes the desire. Then I become fully busy. Then I am engaged in action all the time. Then I get a fatigue. Who will do meditation? I'm already, let me take rest. Come on, meditation help you relax. That idea, that thought never comes to my mind. Then there are a lot of other impurities, pride and etc., etc. So this confusion in the intellect must go. I'm a man first, then I'm a teacher. If I'm a teacher in all the conditions, everywhere, after the session I go to the honey and I am a teacher, then I start teaching my honey. I'm a crazy guy then. That's not my business. Until one asks, do you see that? They say how rich I am. We try to pose and we feel very inferior. Okay, you have such a big house. It is a non-thinking approach. I'm not thinking at all. I'm not thinking it clearly. Teacher is only a role. I have to play my role and finish. So similarly, we have many roles to play like a Hollywood actor. Similarly, all the three states are playing its role in our journey of evolution. I am none of them. I am not a waker. I am not a sleeper. I am not a dreamer. So when we think along these lines, after that, you contemplate. And when you contemplate, you will find that I can tell you one thing more, and then we will start with the practice. You have a job, regular job, 8 to 5 or 8 to 4. You have to wake up you see, that is what I have realized in my life also, and you should be able to realize. So now it is 10 p.m. and the mind says, no, you must sleep in order to wake up to get ready for a job of 8 to 5. If you don't get a sleep, you will feel tired. It's all a delusion. If I work on the mind, if I witness the three states, even 2 hours of the sleep will be deep sleep. Today I was checking, it was 68% deep sleep. And then I sat for meditation for almost around 2 hours, and it increased to 78%. Come on, watch, you don't know what a sleep is. I will not say companies are making us fool. We should be, it gives you some ideas. That very thought triggers every cell of the body. And then it claims you did not have a good sleep, that is why you feel tired. Why I say so? The contents, if I say it openly, psychology also says this, the number of thoughts present in the mind is inversely proportional to the hours of sleep. What did I say? More thoughts are there, you have a less deep sleep. Less thoughts are there, you have a sound sleep. So what is that principle? You empty the mind before you fall into sleep, before you are planning to go to sleep. Even 2 hours is enough. That is the principle. So those who are businessmen, they can do more business in the night also. So eyes are closed. Let us start our journey. So they become more. Eyes are closed and body is steady. Mind is facing within. Mind is facing within. Ear. Comfortable. Comfortable means moving the mind from all the joints, the neck joint, you see it. Do you see that we can follow the instructions only in the waking state, not in the dream, in the sleep state? But that you is still present in both the states. When I shout with your name, you are in deep sleep, you wake up. Look at it. We are none of these 3 states. So, looking at the entire body, neck joint, shoulders, and hip, and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You had a previous experience of discomfort. You consciously induce sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That is the way to learn from your experiences. And do you still Yes, so we should always maintain our awareness, not with the inferiority, not with the superiority, but it's always good to purify the mind every day, even if you have reached to the highest state. And we have used one simple tool. Look inside the heart in the space. Start dropping Om Shanti. So you are separating the mind and the intellect, saying Om Shanti. Body is in the state of steadiness, and start breathing quick, short breath from both the nostrils, from the chest. Continue. Om Shanti continues. Steadiness continues. Even if you pick up the 3 points, the mind and intellect is taken care of by dropping Om Shanti gently, and quick and short breath from the rib cage takes care not to allow the unwanted thoughts into your mind, and the steadiness of the body prevents the mind to go out. So it's a perfect, one of the many tools. Continue. and stop this. In the life of a seeker, one loses uh, that pressure. No, I have to do it for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes. No, nothing is happening because the mind is already clear. And that is why we did it only for 3.5 minutes. Now start breathing deep, silent, and slow. Nyasa. So in Nyasa, you continue the Nyasa, but you explore the three bodies and 5 sheaths. So first, deep, silent, slow breathing. Good. And then as you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm, in the space inside the right arm, singing Om Shanti. While exhaling, the mind, now you have learned the very step. So now you explore how these 5 sheaths and the 3 bodies work together, which we are not. And that results into an extraordinary awareness inside. Outside you remain casual, perfectly natural. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Continue, my friends. And you will notice that there may be a frequent upsurge of the mind with those impurities. You can easily locate it. And the moment you locate it, you have already separated and you continue your journey. And now moving the mind inside the left arm, it becomes such a effortless journey, even when you are doing the nyasa. I need not to say anything. You're fully aware and just check it. Everything is moving, changing breath, mind, Om Shanti, steadiness in the body, and still we find ourselves in a higher level of awareness. And now inside the right leg, you have to see with reference to the nyasa, you have started with the one limb and the mind is already absorbed deeper within. You need not to do with all the limbs. But it's a group session. That's why we are continuing with all the 5 steps. So sometimes it happens because of the causal body, the physical triggers, and it moves. Let it move, let it be so. Continue the journey. Journey is more important than now inside the left leg. Breath is deep, silent, and slow. The intellect understands it, and it gives you a smooth, pleasing sensation to the physical body. It starts the moment you start doing it. So what happens? The mind says, I'm 100% worry-free from the physical body. Then the mind begins living deeper within. It becomes aware of the movement of the breath, Om Shanti, space inside, physical body. It is steadiness, and that's where we become more and more aware of these 3 bodies in the 5 sheets. Now inside the spine. The mind enjoys the deep silent slow breath. It enjoys the path, the space within. And there we drop Om Shanti. You see the mind and intellect, and then another body is the energy sheet. We are already doing deep silent slow breath. And the steadiness in the physical. Now leave it. You already know the triangle. Bring the triangle inside the heart. Move the mind on a triangle. At the center, move the mind, singing Om mentally. And see the mind moves in the cave of your heart. You know, these caves are indicated as 5 sheet. And then Shanti. And after that, you stay there. So when you see the mind seemingly stops, you Shanti, you are in that awareness, and from there, from that awareness or consciousness, our Masters has revealed that we are none of the 3 bodies, we are none of these 5 sheets, we are neither the waker, sleeper, or the dreamer. Once we are settled completely, One time you move the mind on your triangle, then in the cave of the heart the mind moves with Om Shanti. You will discover that you are able to stay there for an extended period of the time. So it gives you an idea of the time, and after that there comes the timelessness. We are fully aware. Om Shanti or no Om Shanti, it all depends on your state. Shanti. Shanti. And after that, there is no need to say, you feel it, it's your journey. And then what happens? The way our masters have witnessed, all of them we witness. Mind bypasses all the 5 sheath, 3 bodies, it settles there, From there it witnesses that we are none of the three bodies, five sheath, and the three states that we are covering step by step. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes. Inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. How are you, Vaibhav?
So it was really very peaceful. It was really good.
Very good. Your previous problems are gone?
Yes, sir. I'm aware and it passes away.
Good. Very good. How are you, David and Jerry?
Hi, good morning. Yes, very peaceful as well. It was interesting when you during the asa you did the Om Shanti, and I realized you were taking a lot longer to do it than I was. So I really started extending my breaths through the various limbs, and I think by the time I got to the heart, I could feel it go like that. It was really peaceful and deep.
Very peaceful and deep. Yeah. That happens. There sometimes the teacher may become a helper. So the mind becomes aware, let me do it little deeper and see what happens. And everything drops. Good, very good. How are you, Jerry?
So good, thank you. The mind was busy until we dropped into the cave. And so I was just keenly aware of watching the mind and being busy. And then I felt like it was rough on the surface of the ocean. And then when we went into the cave, it was just really still and calm. And
very good. Yeah, when we say really still and calm, we are touching. Beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
I'm fine, thank you. My meditation was really relaxing and peaceful. I had a few external interruptions, but they really weren't even interruptions. They were just external.
Yeah. Even recognizing that these challenges are external. How? Because I'm internal. So that gives you a sense of awareness and perception. How are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. I'm calm and peaceful. I had also busy mind with some thoughts different, and I replaced them with the thought that I'm not my mind. And I also had the feeling of a smile. So it was very peaceful.
Very peaceful. You joined this journey much later, so we have to wait until this mind is completely purified. So I thought better I have covered it, but I'm again covering. One is the level of the impurity that I have already discussed. So that happens with almost a non-seeker. And it starts dropping down. Second is what anesthesia is doing, is the wandering mind. a kind of restlessness. So that is another impurity that causes lot of challenges in order to succeed in meditation. So how are you, Samir?
Sir, it was very relaxing, and all the activities of the mind slowed down. Means the busy mind was totally relaxed. Everything dropping, and
Yeah.
darkness.
That is very good. We should pick up this, that mind slows down. The speed of the mind drops. So you have the reducing the flow of the thoughts in the mind. So they are a good thing to the way we understand this. We are definitely meditating. How are you, Terry? Now you have to unmute it. I have to find some remote. Let me find out, yes. No, still it is unmuted. Take your time. How do you Ashok in the meantime? Yeah, now it is okay, Terry.
Yeah, I couldn't find the cursor.
You couldn't find the cursor.
The body was not letting me. Well, I started to do the fast breathing, and I did okay.
Very good.
It was okay, but then it got worse, and by the time we got to the Nyasa, the body was not even letting me breathe. To me, it feels like something is fighting me and I'm resisting it. So I just gave up. By the time we got halfway through the Nyasa, I just decided to do nothing because...
Yeah. That's a good point.
When we went into the heart, I just took the triangle. I went in there and I said, I'm just going to stay in here and let these stupid guys do what they want.
Yes.
Because the body and the breath were just fighting and I couldn't. I just wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Very good. That's really good. These fights, these reactions, these hesitation and anger are known as the impurities of the mind. We'll understand deeply why they prevent us to realize the real self. How are you, Rakesh?
Thank you, sir. Sorry. So in meditation, when I reached to this triangle part, and the first time I entered inside, I continued there only for the remaining time. It was so peaceful. I dropped everything. There was no body. There was no thought, nothing, no activity. Just the breathing was going on. And I was just watching the breath going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's all.
Good.
Very, very peaceful.
Very peaceful, yeah. Peaceful. Very peaceful indicates that we have gone deeper. How are you, Lalit?
Yeah, it felt great, and if I'm more regular to the session, I would succeed.
If you are more regular in this, who is preventing you? So, very good. Who is left? Ashok.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
All good and peaceful.
All good and peaceful.
All peace and good.
Now all are becoming good. All are becoming peaceful. And there we should remember we have to change ourselves. We cannot change the world. Nothing will happen if you change the world. Anesthesia, you're clear? Yeah, tell all other, because anesthesia knows English, so those people who know English, they can also join this session without any thinking of any payment to until the war is continuing. But to tell you, I must appreciate, I will not name that girl in your previous sessions, which we do free. I don't tell you the name, and she sent me a very, very small amount, even below $10, saying that I have only this much. So that dollar means to me $1,000, because you have an attitude of giving. So I'm not telling you the name. It happened to be to me with my master also. That we will. I will talk about that last time. That is all. Do you have any question? That is all. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will meet again. Ha Bhagwan Daya Karu.